Thank you so much for listening to Sioux Falls Business Leaders, who they are and why they do what they do. It's a Sioux Falls Connected Podcast, and we have Mike Austad joining us today from Dakota Radon Mitigation. I also want to remind you, we've got Garrett Gross joining us here from Sioux Falls Connected. So first of all, Mike, how are you doing, sir?
Good. It's going great here today, and glad to be back. I know it's been some years, but great to see the studio too, and Garrett, appreciate the invite, and John. My business is Dakota Radon Mitigation in Sioux Falls, and within the listening audience, I think radon is something we really want to be aware of. It's an odorless, colorless gas. It gets into homes through the natural effects of ground decay, and it is Radon Action Month.
Yeah.
So this is one of the things through many different mediums, and one of the best is radio communication, and throughout television and billboards and other mediums. There's really a promotion to check the homes in this area throughout the U.S. for radon gas, which is, again, we can't sense it or feel it or taste it, so we have to test for that.
And we've had radon detectors, not radar detectors.
Watch out for that, too.
Be careful.
Mike's driving fast from job to job.
Radon detectors. How does that work, and how does a person, if I want to test something for radon, is that something that I do myself, or how would I work with you to have something like this done? There's
quite a few options, and most of my work is responding to homes that have already tested for radon, and the wheelhouse of my business is correcting homes that have been checked or tested for radon, and I put in the ventilation equipment to correct it. Having said that, we have to be front and center and educate the homeowner and provide them and let them know there's plenty of affordable options to test the home to check for that gas. And a lot of it you can buy online or in your local stores, hardware stores in the area, to get the test device kits that are non-electronic. They're sold by lab companies through these channels. And you place the non-electronic piece like a charcoal shoe polish type size canister, or they're available in other varieties of little bottle vials. And they have an explanation of directions to place them in the basement of the home, leave them set for X amount of time, usually 2 to 4 days. And whether a person is selling their house or just curious, or if they found out their neighbor had elevated radon, they can get these devices for between $20 to $45, depending on the type of specific test device. But they all are accurate.
We talked about why should somebody test for radon. When somebody buys or sells their home, there are requirements that as you transfer properties that these levels need to be in an appropriate zone. But the reality is that radon is the second leading cause of lung cancer. Oftentimes people think of why should I do this? That's a serious issue.
Yeah, really, as you said, the important is why. And one is this area has found radon in the ground, and it gets into the home. And not to just wait for a real estate transaction. Check your home. If you're going to sell the house and you need a home inspection at that point, and that's often when radon awareness is shown on a home inspection. Radon correction through a home inspection test, like on a real estate transaction, is not required to be corrected or calibrated, but it can be a stipulation on a home sale. But having said that, there's plenty of homes out here that people don't plan to sell their homes. They still can have that common elevated radon level.
So walk us through a process. You identify a home that, whether it's a homeowner, a realtor, a home inspector, who cares who contacted you, but you identify a home that has elevated levels. What do you do next for that client?
Either through the phone, through educating through the phone, I would get questions. Well, how much does it cost? What do we need to do to correct my house? So we're looking at to get the home tests. I have them available, or again, you can get them at the local stores or online. Or you can have private company home inspection services come out with electronic monitors, and those are a little bit more expensive, but also another way that you can get the home tested. So what do we do next? You call Dakota Radon Mitigation, 605-201-4704. It's my local number. I'll field those calls there. You can go online to my website, dakotaradon.com, and there's a questionnaire in your own time. You can just ask some brief questions. If you want me to contact you that way too, that's fine. Or if you just want me to field back through email or texting, that's great too. My website, through dakotaradon.com, I have a Facebook page that has additional information as well. And so we're looking at what do we do for the ventilation and correction work through mitigation. That's what I do. And so we look at the square footage of the house. what the radon level tested at initially, and specifics of the basement and where we can run ventilation work from the basement to above the roof line, and there's mechanical fans and things.
Do you ever come upon a situation where the levels are high and you're unable to fix it for the homeowner, or you have techniques and protocols that, any situation that arises, you're able to mitigate it?
Yeah, well, there's standards through training, and, we look at the square footage and varieties of fans that they're specific to certain applications and sizes and ways and channels that the home gets radon through the house. So we attach or attack that area, like a sump pump basin or maybe an open earth crawl space. So we're specific to the home of what our plan is to correct a specific house. But yes, there are times when you put a system in, it's important to recheck afterwards. And that's a quality assurance Dakota Radon includes, is retesting to make sure that the product works, that the installation does work. And there are times where the retest, hey, we need a little bit of addressing here. It didn't quite get it to the reduced level, and we have correction action we can take in there.
If somebody calls you for the service to make their home a safer environment, this isn't the first time you've gone out there. You've been doing this for how many years, and how'd you kind of get into this industry?
Well, yeah, it's I don't believe in luck, but this is my 13th year of local day in, day out.
Awesome.
In the field work in the local area. So it's not just a part-time sideline. I got into it, and I got into field training with another company through friends and family and real estate network, and I went to work with them full-time. They still are in a field and have diversified into other fields, so I went out on my own for it's been about 8-9 years now.
Awesome.
So we're always learning new things and techniques, and there's always different avenues per particular house to effectively, cost and performance-wise, to get it done right on each individual house.
Well, appreciate you coming in today, and one of the big things we're trying to do with this Business Leaders podcast is just to kind of tell the people who are in the local community that own and operate these businesses. Mike, you've got some very entertaining commercials on TV, and for people that wonder who is this guy and what's this company that he provides, we wanted to give you an opportunity to kind of tell your story. So we appreciate you coming in.
Well, appreciate that, and we want to use fun and excitement and promotion, and not to put the fear into people of an elevated radon level. I mean, this is something that can be corrected, but is something that you'd want to check.
Awesome. Well, if people need to get a hold of you, they can go to your website, your Facebook page. There's multiple ways where they can connect with the folks at Dakota Radon, and we appreciate you coming in.
Again, the website, dakotaradon.com. And again, this is Sioux Falls Business Leaders, who they are and why they do what they do. And Mike from Dakota Radon has been in here today. Again, for Garrett from Sioux Falls Connected, I'm John Small from Sunny Radio. Thank you so much for listening.